Hello. Just a few words that might help any people who've got some mice infesting their home. I live in a small cottage in East Sussex, and I started to hear scratching in the ceiling above the bedroom, which I thought was actually birds or a bird's nest. But then when I heard this racket going on in the kitchen one evening, I realized that and found that it was mice, because when I turned the light on and made a noise, I saw one disappear through a very small gap between the kitchen furniture and the cupboards. So I blocked this gap with wire wool, because mice don't like wire wool and they don't like biting it, and started looking for ways of not having mice. Now there are traps and poisons and all kinds of things, but I really wanted a deterrent, because I didn't fancy the idea of dead bodies rotting away behind the walls and in cupboards and having disposed of them living or dead. And I found some people had been successful using peppermint oil as a deterrent. So I got some peppermint oil, and I also got some of these hypersonic sound creators where you can't hear it, but it's supposed to have a very strong effect on little rodents like mice. So I put one of those under the sink where the mice had made their nest, and I cleared it out, put one of those under, and another one on top in the kitchen. But I also used peppermint oil, rather like this bottle here, and put some on these little pads of tissue you can get and put them around and under the sink. But I also added some peppermint oil to this kind of spray bottle with some water, because that was able to send a jet of this stuff behind the cupboards much further than you can reach, and also renew it. So I did a lot of spraying at the beginning, every evening, around about 10 o'clock, when I knew they'd start coming out to make a noise, in the grills, behind the cupboards, wherever I could, because they'd come in behind the cupboards and gone into the cupboard under the sink. And also on the surfaces, I sprayed on the surfaces of the kitchen and a few other places. Now the smell of peppermint actually is very nice. It's a very clean smell, so I had no problem with the fact that the cottage actually had a scent of peppermint for days, and I did it every evening for about 3 weeks. But before that 3 weeks was up, I realized that they had gone. Now I don't know if the ultrasonic little sound creators were working or not. I have no way of finding out, but I thought if I attack their hearing and the peppermint oil affecting their eyes with the smell and their noses, they may not want to hang around too much. And this happened. They went. After about 3 evenings of the peppermint oil, there were no more mice, except about 5 days after this, one came back, and then he disappeared, or she disappeared pretty quickly. So it's now been 6 weeks, and I haven't had mice back, but I still sprayed every evening, a little less, and then now I spray every other evening just to keep it up. And it's very easy to do with the bottle now. You just squirt it around, and there are no more problems. So I did see on YouTube that people said it's a temporary but not necessarily permanent, and I just wanted to tell you, have a go, because I've found so far anyway that it is a very good permanent deterrent if you can be bothered to apply the spray properly and apply the oil and make the smells, this anti-mouse, they don't like it, pervade your home. Okay, that's all now. Good luck.